And someone like Canelo fighting against Crawford, you need more than power, you need more than speed, you need ring IQ, you need literally everything, because this is the two best pound for pound fighters who are going to be fighting each other. Even though Crawford is going to be giving away a lot of weight, but I feel that it could go either way.
Crawford wants this fight a lot. He wants this fight, and I think he will be more active than Canelo's previous opponent, and he has different mentality. He has champion mentality. I think fight will be much more interesting.
That's why we fight the fight. So September 12th, we all going to see if the weight going to make a difference or not.
A massive wave of excitement is sweeping through the boxing community as Turki Alalshik has officially confirmed a blockbuster showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Their unexpected first face-to-face encounter lit up the sport, taking place moments after Canelo's dominant win over William Skull on May 3, 2025, in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. During the post-fight festivities, Alalshik coordinated a surprise introduction between the two champions, setting the stage for what could be one of boxing's most historic fights. Reactions to the announcement have poured in from all corners of the sport. Dimitri Bivol, who previously defeated Alvarez, believes Crawford's sharpness and active momentum could present real problems. He highlighted Crawford's composure and tactical flexibility as the attributes needed to counter Canelo's pressure and punching strength at super middleweight.
Crawford wants this fight a lot. He wants this fight, and I think he will be more active than Canelo's previous opponent, and he has different mentality. He has champion mentality. I think fight will be much more interesting.
What do you make of the weight in that fight, the weight difference?
I think Crawford will not let Canelo just walking on the ring when he wants, because we could see this fight. Canelo did everything. When he want to rest, he could rest easy, in this fight. Yeah, of course, when he wants to work, that guy didn't give him work. He just rest. And I think with Crawford, it will be harder to rest.
Who do you think wins?
I don't know. It's a very interesting fight, but I don't know. We'll see.
Amir Khan, who shared the ring with both fighters, pointed to Crawford's cleverness inside the ropes. He admitted that while Canelo possesses more raw force, Crawford's quick reflexes, superior timing, and strategic thinking might turn the tide in his favor.
And it could have gone either way, because I had probably Skull winning by 2 rounds. I mean, I like Canelo. I think he's a great fighter, but the thing is, I think that he was looking he was picking the shots better and landing the better, cleaner shots. Canelo was marked up a little bit, but look, it could have gone either way. Anyway, regardless how the fight went, it was a great performance by both fighters, but it's made a bigger fight happen now with Canelo and Crawford. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Is there more question marks being asked in that fight now? Because a lot of people say, look, Canelo's a bigger guy. He should technically be the bigger guy, have too much weight for Crawford, but from that performance, do you feel like it's a lot tight and there's a lot more question marks in that fight?
Yeah, I mean, you need more than size, you need more than weight, you need more than everything. I mean, I think what you need now is you just need box IQ, the right box IQ, you know what I mean? You need to be smart. And someone like Canelo fighting against Crawford, you need more than power, you need more than speed, you need ring IQ, you need literally everything, because this is the two best pound for pound fighters who are going to be fighting each other. Even though Crawford is going to be giving away a lot of weight, but I feel that it could go either way.
Roy Jones Jr. chimed in with a word of caution for Alvarez. He said that if Canelo approaches the bout thinking it will be easy or underestimates Crawford's skill set, he could be caught off guard. Jones stressed that taking Crawford seriously and preparing intensely is the only way to avoid a major upset.
In that fight?
You know, it's a hard one to call, and I'm going to tell you why it's a hard one to call. It's a hard one to call because it'll all be predicated upon how Canelo approaches the fight. If Canelo approaches the fight like he's the man and he can box and outbox Terence Crawford, he'll get beat. If he comes out and show that he really wants to go out and prove whether he's still the best, he might win. So it all depends on which Canelo come to the dance.
And just two more. Jaron Ennis, a lot of people say there's similarities between you and him. What do you think of this fight coming up with Stanionis?
We're going to find a lot about Jaron Ennis against Stanionis because Stanionis is a very good prospect, up and coming. So
boxing legend Juan Manuel Marquez voiced his doubts about Crawford jumping up in weight, suggesting it might not be a smart move. He explained that weight classes exist to protect balance and fairness, and Crawford may be taking a dangerous leap by entering Canelo's weight territory.
I don't like the fight because Terence Crawford is a good fighter, but in the sport of boxing, it has divisions. You know what I mean? You know?
Right, weight classes.
You know what?
Right?
Yeah, weight classes
for a reason.
Weight classes for and Terence Crawford is a good fighter in super lightweight, welterweight, super welterweight, but I think more. I remember when Terence Crawford fought with Madrimov.
Yes.
He looks slow. He looks with no power, and three more divisions. Two more divisions. I think it's a top fight for Terence Crawford, but Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He has a great defense. He has a good combination punches, but I think the weight class is no good for him.
Though William Skull didn't dive deep into analysis, he acknowledged the magnitude of the upcoming clash. He recognized the global attention the fight is drawing and the significance of both fighters stepping into the ring.
Pues es una cajita sorpresa, no se sabe. Hay que esperar la pelea ahí y después ver la decisión, pero todavía no tengo nada así claro.
Well, I really have nothing much to say. Boxing is like a Pandora's box, so it's about to wait and see.
Crawford, for his part, is treating this moment as the biggest test of his boxing journey. He openly recognizes Canelo as the sport's most iconic figure today and feels driven to prove his greatness under the brightest spotlight. His hunger to rise to the occasion shows just how much this fight means to him.
In boxing?
Well, Canelo's the face of boxing. He's the best fighter for Terence Crawford out there. He's the biggest fight for Terence Crawford out there, so that's why Terence Crawford want to take the opportunity to share a ring with another great.
How do you beat him?
You'll see. Come 12.
Everyone's talking about the weight differences. What's your kind of response to that, Terence?
That's why we fight the fight. So September 12th, we all going to see if the weight going to make a difference or not.
Do you want to fight him twice and then retire? Is that kind of the ideal thing for you?
One fight at a time. One fight at a time.
Meanwhile, Canelo expressed hope that Crawford brings a warrior's mentality into the ring. Reflecting on his recent fight with Skull, Alvarez said he wants to face opponents who fight to win, not just survive. He expects Crawford to bring action and give fans the thrill they deserve.
That's a mediocre mind because they come just to survive, to go to the 12th round. That's a mediocre mind. You need to put a good fight there and put great show. You know what I mean?
Do you think Crawford will employ the same tactics to try and box?
I hope not. I hope not because the people deserve a good fight.
What do you make of the Crawford fight next?
Huh?
How excited are you for the Crawford fight?
I'm excited. I'm gonna enjoy this win and then we think. Yeah, do it.
British rising star Conor Benn described the matchup as a true pick'em fight. Calling it a coin flip, Benn emphasized the balance in skill, mindset, and physical tools that make this bout so intriguing and unpredictable.
Crawford going up, I believe he can put a beating on anybody 154, 160.
But not 68.
Nah, Benavidez is...
Canelo. Yeah.
Oh, Canelo. I think he's a smart fighter. He doesn't rely on his power. Crawford ain't a fighter who just relies on his power. And then Canelo, when he's fought Belenga, then fought Ryder, Munguia, it's even. I think it'd be a 50-50 fight if Crawford fought Canelo.
Some pundits have voiced concern over Canelo's recent outing against Skull, pointing out what they believe to be signs of decline. They mentioned his slower pace and reduced explosiveness, questioning whether he can handle a prime athlete like Crawford at this stage in his career.
After really the Triple G fight is when we've seen the slippage on Canelo. And over the last 2 years, it's been immediately apparent. It's been apparent straight away over the last 2 years. Canelo's feet have always been slow. He's always been very slow-footed. So when people are saying, oh, it looks like his legs are slowing down, yeah, they are. They've never been quick, but now they're even slower, which is a problem. And Jim Lampley on commentary on Friday night show was saying that one of Canelo's biggest strengths is his legs. It generates power and it helps with his punch resistance. Well, those legs are sliding and that power is diminishing. Canelo hasn't had a stoppage win now since he knocked out Plant in 2021. And yeah, he's dropped some of these guys, but he's not been able to step on the gas and finish them. He's not been able to go through the gears. His gas tank, you can put that into question as well. And Canelo Alvarez, come July, be 35 years old. So he is, look, Canelo's been around so long and his real prime was in his mid-20s. So we associate Canelo, mid-20s to early 30s. So we kind of associate Canelo with that. I don't want to say ever young, but you know, he is still young, just not in boxing senses. But he's been around so long, 20 years a pro, and he's been at world levels for probably 15 of those. You're going to expect some slippage. And I think in this fight, an opponent, it was very negative, yes, but an opponent who Canelo Alvarez of 5 years ago would have handled, and he did handle him, but you know what I mean, he probably would have put some damage on William Skull. He didn't do anything. He didn't look good. And William Skull played his part in that, it has to be said. As I said, you fight that negative, there's only so much you can really do, you know? Even if you're Canelo Alvarez, even if you are Alexander Usyk.
Veteran coach Joel Diaz offered a different angle, saying that Canelo's durability and size advantage could play a decisive role. He believes that Crawford may not be able to generate enough damage at super middleweight to keep Alvarez off of him.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Álvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Álvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat Canelo.
Oscar De La Hoya didn't hold back, dismissing the bout as a payday fight rather than a meaningful contest. He argued that history rarely favors smaller men in these kinds of matchups, and said Crawford could be walking into a trap at 168 pounds.
Who? Canelo versus William Skull. William who?
Oscar being back in New York over here.
No, let's just say Canelo Crawford, in the history of boxing, and this is the facts.
Let's get it.
If you see Thursdays, Fact Thursdays, I speak the facts. All right, I'll even do it for you. A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game, unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man, so it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out. The bottom line, and this is the truth again, it's a money grab. That's it.
Yeah. But Crawford doesn't rely on his power, he relies on his IQ. Crawford, what he did to Spence was magic, was incredible, was amazing. And so, look, one thing about Canelo is that we all know that he walks in the ring as if there's wet cement, right? His footwork is a little too heavy. Crawford is such a smart fighter where he can he's like Bruce Lee, literally. And he's in his peak, he's in his prime, and so I think that if that fight ever happens, which I don't think it will, if that fight ever happens, I have to go with Crawford.
There you have it, Oscar De La Hoya talking about Crawford.
David Benavidez, one of the division's top names, disagreed with the skeptics. He praised Crawford's elite-level craft and work ethic, saying those attributes might be enough to shock the world by handing Alvarez a rare loss.
The Ring magazine, which is owned by Turkey, reported that Canelo and Crawford have agreed to the September date and that it's essentially on. What is your I know this has been rumored and talked about, but now it seems like a done deal. What's your reaction to this?
It's a good fight. You know, it's a good fight for both of them. Good fight for, I think it's more important for Crawford than anybody, you know, but I think if anybody could beat Canelo, I think Crawford could.
Yeah, I know you said like he could be the guy. What kind of a chance do you ultimately give him?
I think you give him like a 7 out of a 10.
Oh, wow, that high. I thought you were going to say like 25
no,
just because of
Crawford
the
is
size.
good. Crawford is good, and
of course.
I think he's been known that he's going to fight Canelo for a long time. And you know, Crawford he likes to pick up the weight, so I'm sure he's been working on the weights for a long time. So, you know, Crawford, when he has with a person that has a big IQ like that, if you do enough weights, you know, and you stay working for a long time, you know, you have a puncher's chance.
Alexander Usyk also weighed in, stating that superior technique can often neutralize size. The heavyweight champ believes Crawford's polished skills and fast decision-making could give him an edge even against a naturally bigger Canelo.
Potential fight between Canelo and Terence Crawford.
Yeah.
How do you see that fight? Who
I
do you
like Terence. It's
Wow.
my friend, but it's crazy man. Listen, I say Terence win. Yes.
What? Terence win over
Yes,
Canelo?
What? Terence win. But listen, Terence is different man. Terence work in две стойка.
Two sides.
Two sides.
Right.
Yeah, and switch hitter.
Yes.
He's a switch hitter.
Yes.
Right and left. But it's very smart man. It's very smart. But feel distance and plays like
Adjustments.
Spacing,
Exactly.
boxing.
You don't think the weight difference will be a factor too much?
Mario, you're asking him?
That's why. That's why I'm asking exactly.
But, Canelo big, Canelo too. It's a good boxer, but I say.
Sean Porter, who's gone toe-to-toe with Crawford, raised an important concern. While acknowledging Crawford's toughness, he questioned whether his body could handle Canelo's physicality over 12 rounds, especially against someone who's fought comfortably at higher weights.
The others say like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo has, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean? So
Eddie Hearn labeled the fight a spectacle, citing the stark difference in body size. He suggested that even a great performance by Crawford might be overshadowed by the sheer mismatch in natural weight, which could diminish the win's value for Canelo.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement. If you're Terence Crawford in that fight, the last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
You know.
Former title holder Caleb Plant gave Crawford credit for his cerebral approach and unpredictability. He noted that even though the weight factor favors Alvarez, Crawford's boxing brain and fight IQ could make things far more competitive than the odds suggest.
Terence is not a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? He's special. And, you know, Canelo, he's a top-notch fighter, world-class fighter. Still on the pound-for-pound list, I'm sure towards somewhere near the top. And it's exciting. You know, Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways.
orthodox southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, outside, and he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a big question mark on the end of it, though. So that's why I'm sure all of us are excited for that bell to ring and be able to find out firsthand.
Veteran analyst Teddy Atlas backed Crawford, saying his mental toughness and in-ring smarts set him apart. Atlas believes Crawford's unwillingness to back down and his ability to adjust under pressure make him a real threat, no matter the division.
Come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." But who's he beating? He unified the what was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified like 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight.
That wraps up today's breakdown. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and catch us next time for more big boxing stories.